Marked as one of the most mysterious alien sightings of the 20th century, the alien encounter of Ruwa, Zimbabwe, remains one of the most compelling pieces of evidence that humans are not alone on this earth. The year was 1994. The place, a private elementary school located in Ruwa, Zimbabwe. It was here that over 60 children reportedly saw several aliens step out of a spaceship that had landed in a distant field.
Either because I was just staring at me.
As if to do what?
As if I wanted to come and take us.
It was a hot afternoon on September 16th, and the children were on recess, playing in the schoolyard. According to reports, there was only one adult on the playground at the time, a mother of one of the students who was in charge of operating the snack cart. While at recess, the students reported seeing 3 silver balls that sporadically appeared and then disappeared in the skies above.
All I saw was a silver flash, just like that. And I saw a few I saw the bigger one and a spaceship, like 4 or 5 of them, like crowding around it.
They were very still, and then I saw them also disappear. They went about a meter off the ground and then they just vanished. We ran down to the teachers and we went into the office and we started telling the teachers, and then they said maybe there's nothing.
One of those ships eventually made its way towards the ground, where it either landed or hovered just above the grass in a heavily wooded area.
It was silver and the ring around it was red.
It was red. Did light come from the whole thing, or
There are lights around here.
lights along the edge there?
Sure, it wasn't a Harrier jump jet or an aircraft?
No.
Something that the Zimbabwe Air Force
It was like
had got?
in a disc. There's one thing sitting on the side and another thing sort of like running up and down the top.
What the students described as a small man was seen on top of the UFO.
How many of the strange beings did you see?
I saw one over here. They had eyes like that, and they were kind of just like looking at us. They were like kind of astonished.
After noticing the children, the being went behind the craft, only to reappear seconds later, this time making extended eye contact with the students.
Did you all see something?
Yes.
Were you afraid?
And what happened, Guy?
Well, it was just glinting in the trees, and there was a man.
What did he look like?
His face was like this, and his eyes were down here.
My heart went faster and then slower and then faster and then slower, all at the same time.
Now, was that was excitement and
Yeah, excitement and scariness.
scary? You heard a noise in the air?
Yes.
What was it like? Like a roar or a buzz or a hum, or what kind of a noise?
It was like someone was blowing a flute.
And that scared you?
Yes.
And what did you do when you were afraid?
I ran away from it.
According to interviews with the children, the being communicated using his eyes.
He never said anything. It's just that the face is the eyes. They looked horrible.
And the eyes, the horrible look, had that information that you just told me?
Yes.
It is theorized that this being was a gray, an alien characterized by its small human-like body, big black eyes, and large head, and smooth gray skin. Before being interviewed by American psychiatrist Dr. John Mack, the children were asked to draw a picture of what they had seen that day. The large majority of pictures coincided with one another, showing a saucer-like spacecraft with short beings surrounding it. In some of the pictures, the figures had long black hair. In others, it was bald. Some speculate that the aliens were using hypnosis to try to appear more human-like to the children, which is why some of them appeared with hair. Nearly 20 years later, the pictures still deliver a chill to the spine, given the implications that we are not alone. Had these 62 children really encountered life not of this world?
Why would 62 children lie. Now, the people in Africa don't have television. They might have a radio, but I can tell you the media don't deal with UFOs there, but nervous side. So where would they pick it up? Is it a mass telepathy?
Were these children intentionally targeted? And what were the aliens trying to communicate?
You were saying that you thought that they maybe were trying to tell us something, like about the future. Can you say more what your thought is? What was it like?
It was like in the world, all the trees will just go down and there will be no air and people will be dying.
Okay, what do you imagine is his reason for visiting Earth?
I think it's about something that's going to happen.
Something that's going to happen.
What I thought was maybe the world's going to end. Maybe they're telling us the world's going to end. I think they want people to know that we're actually making harm on this world and we mustn't get too technologized.
How did that get communicated to you?
I don't really know, but it just popped up in my head.
Pollution.
Yes.
While some experts chalk up the experience to a case of mass hysteria, which was somewhat prevalent in South Africa, those 62 children still remain convinced of what they saw.
Is this an idea you have had before, or did this idea come to you when you had this experience?
When I had this experience.
For the first time in nearly 20 years, the Ariel school children gathered from the four corners of the world to talk to each other about the experience they shared that September morning.
I remember something there.
One they all still struggle to understand.
You know that it's moving, but
I stand by what I saw. There was no reason for any of us to make that up.
I've not spoken to anybody about it. Not because I'm not proud of it, but because I don't want the stigma.
So it's something that I've had to deal with for 19 and a half years.
I don't want to say I felt like I knew it, but I knew that I didn't have to be afraid of it.
And not one of them has changed their story.
I was with one of the other girls and saying to her, this is amazing.
We all were just stopped in our tracks.
A little man appear on top of the actual craft. And that moment for me was very distinct because I was like, that's not human.
well, I was just completely engulfed in these eyes.
The eyes, and in that moment, however long it was, because I have no idea of the time frame, it was mesmerizing.
There was no talking. It's all just images in the head. Telepathic communication.
They were trying to communicate, trying to tell us something. It was something to do with the environment.
I kept getting these thoughts and ideas in my mind of technology. Technology is not helping, technology is bad.
And we're going down a wrong path, and we have to start recognizing that what we're doing is detrimental, and we need to make changes. And I don't know what to do with that, or they were reaching out to us. It was as if they wanted us to go with them. At that moment, that was kind of when I snapped right out of the trance.
As soon as I broke contact, all of those feelings, technology, the bad, the horribleness that was happening and going around my body at the time went.
It's making me a bit anxious being back here.
I can feel it right now. I was scared.
They came running up here in such a panic, screaming, ah, and they were here, you know, and a child can't make that up.
So I was there when they were interviewing them and saw the way they were. It was just a huge big mess and muddle up and just people everywhere. Just asked them questions straight off without explaining to the children what they were doing and why they were doing it.
It was chaos in terms of the media frenzy that was going on and us being so young and not even being allowed time to comprehend what we had seen. Our teachers certainly didn't believe us, so that was a big deal, because we had to continue going to school there.
It is possible that we will never know exactly what happened that day on September 16th, but with the Pentagon now declassifying and confirming the existence of UFOs, the truth may be closer than we think.